Hey there friends, the video that I'm going to share with you guys today is nothing new to most of you because you understand how the federal government works, especially its little bureaucracies that no one elected. You understand that. Many of you have actually felt the wrath of those same organizations. Even when you were in the right, you just hurt their little egos. I'm going to show you a video today that will make you question every single three-letter agency out there. First, guys, please go check out my friends Gideon Optics. These guys make amazing optics. If you're looking for something that you can either put on a pistol or an AR-15 or any kind, heck, if you want a rifle and reach out there, you guys know the discount code FTATF. You'll get 10% off. Again, go to GideonOptics.com, FTATF, receive 10% off. Friends, this clip I'm about to show you is one of those things that when you see it the first time, it's almost like it's not real, so it doesn't sink in. I highly suggest when you guys get done watching this clip, settle down, because I know you're going to get upset like I did, and then go back and rewatch it again with a clearer mind and a little bit less emotion. We don't want to be as emotional as the left tends to get sometimes. And look at it from a rational mind without that escalation of emotion. And you test yourself on where you stand with this man.
And everybody in the minority party, they're fearing what Donald Trump would do in the next administration, while they sit here and they look at the guy who's been persecuted by the FBI. And everybody in the room understands it. Mr. Allen, do you have comments you wish to make? I'll give you about a minute and a half, and then I want to turn the rest of my time to Mr. Jordan.
Yes, sir. I would just say that I consider the hearing today my last act of service as a public servant for the United States of America. And I'll give you my professional opinion. I was an intel professional for our country for many years, and I would give recommendations, and I'd also look at indications and warnings. So I would offer this to the American people as my warning to them. Since this is a warning to the American people, I say, I personally have no confidence that the FBI will rein in its own conduct. I've been persecuted along with Garrett, Steve and Kyle, and countless other whistleblowers. It is my opinion that the Bureau used reprisal and fear to control the workforce. It has been a seemingly effective tactic. I personally believe that there are no current effective checks and balances against them conducting lawless action with any type of correction in a legitimate time frame. I welcome the work of the IG, but I think any type of lawless action, there's no legitimate time frame to rein them back in. Their ability to overclassify information can allow them to stonewall forever. To the American people, you have a duty as a citizen to vote, and I strongly urge you to do so. It's how you participate in the American experience. I know people have doubts about election integrity, but you must vote. It is your claim. Stake your claim and don't forfeit it willingly. Have your voice heard. My other recommendations are in the natural order. First, vote. The second is the Second Amendment. Arm yourself and know how to defend yourself. Make 3 to 4 friends in your neighborhood and promise to come to each other's mutual aid in times of hardship. And during the Great Depression, people stocked up a pantry. So I think that's a good practice, especially in our economic times, and make sure you have 3 to 4 months of food. And as a person of faith, I'd say pray the rosary. Go to the First Friday devotions. That's for everybody, all my brothers and sisters of all faiths, and I know I'm Catholic. And read the gospel of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and live it every day. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for the time.
You know, Mr. Allen, the fact that there are servants like you who have borne up under persecution that a lot of political leaders in this country do not care about is the thing that heartens the American people, and I'm confident the American people will resolve the situation.
Every true red-blooded American who loves this country and hates tyranny, regardless of political party, should be outraged by what happened to this man. Now, he's a black man, so the blind Kamala slaves out there who can't see anything else except for blue, all they see is blue, we'll call this guy an Uncle Tom, because he's speaking the truth. That's when you know you're standing on the right side. And I don't mean right and left as far as politics. I mean correct. This is how you know you're standing on the correct side, when you agree with the patriot like that. Because you know what his crime was? He spoke out against abuse of power. This man, Marcus Allen, is a 22-year Marine veteran. He is an FBI agency whistleblower, and he brought out opposing information about January 6th. He knew the lies that were being perpetrated. He knew the people who were being mistreated, and he spoke out against them. Now remember, this is a black man. All these January 6th people are supposed to hate all black people, right? No, he saw the truth and the involvement of the FBI. He spoke out about how the FBI was remotely and directly involved in January 6th. Voiced his opinion how that was not right, and they did this man. You know what they did to this guy? They retaliated against him by revoking his security clearance and suspended him without pay for 27 months. That is over 2 years. They tried to break this man emotionally and financially, thinking that, we just don't pay the guy. We'll suspend him indefinitely. We won't pay him during that. And everything's going to be cool. He's going to go away. He's going to shut up. And he's going to know he dealt with the FBI. And he's never going to do that again. Well, guess what? The Inspector General found that the FBI was wrong and incorrectly suspended him, reinstated his 27 months of back pay, which, by the way, guys, he's received 0 of that to date. 0. A couple things I want to add to this. First of all, you know you're in with the right political party when you screw up, and I want to say F up so bad, but I'm not going to because I really do try to watch my language as best I can on here. But you know you're in with the right people whenever you can look the other way when you see corruption, you look the other way whenever you see something wrong, and if you do in fact screw up, you're going to get time off, here it comes, with pay. And you don't get kicked out, your security clearance doesn't get taken away from you. You might even get, you know where the bodies are buried now, you might even get a promotion out of it. That's when you know you are on the right side of these corrupt bastards in the FBI and every other 3-letter agency. You know how you know when you're on the wrong side? When you speak up about truth and you get what poor Marcus here was dealt with, a suspension and no pay. The FBI and the Secret Service, I'm going to put these in the same bucket. Secret Service gets people killed and almost gets a former president killed. And guess what? We're going to give you a little time off, but we're going to keep paying you. Marcus did nothing wrong. He went against what these people were saying and utilized his First Amendment constitutional right, and they tried to starve his family. This man started pulling out of his pension, out of his 401k. He starts pulling out of that to feed his family, and it's probably depleted by now. You can't live off of your 401k indefinitely. So this guy for 27 months is trying to feed it. Now it's longer than 27 because they still haven't paid him. But he went 27 months where they took his money from him, and they were supposed to give him the back pay, and he started using his own funds to do that. So they're trying to wreck this guy. They're trying to break him in every conceivable way. Again, mentally and financially. Hey, if he's so mentally strong that we can't get him the crack and just go away, let's take all his money from him and starve his kids, which he does have. If we can get his kids' stomachs to growl, maybe he'll just go away and find another job, and we're done with him. That's the way to solve it. Hey man, we're the FBI. We do whatever we want. Nobody can touch us. That's my next point. These congressmen get up there and they get all indignant. And I do appreciate this congressman here getting indignant about this and saying the nice things that sound great on camera. What's he doing about it? How is he getting Marcus paid? He knows Marcus hasn't been paid for 27 months. What's he doing to get it? Because this is just like the kid standing on a street corner with a fist full of rocks. He throws them and busts out windshields of the cars as they pass by. The cars stop, shake their fist at the kid, call the cops. Cops never come. Or if the cops come, they write down a little bit of information, tell everybody to go about their separate ways. The next day, kid shows back up, handful of rocks, throws them at cars, busts the windshields out. People get out, shake their fist at the kid, call the police. Police come, write a few words down on a piece of paper. Everybody goes a separate way again. Eventually, the kid realizes there ain't nothing happening to me. You know who the kid is in this case? The FBI. The FBI has realized that no one, including Congress, will do anything to them when they railroad and try to screw over a true American like Marcus Allen here. They've realized, man, we know we screwed up. We know we were wrong. In fact, the IG told us that we were wrong. We still ain't paid Marcus. And nobody's doing anything. Let's just don't pay Marcus until somebody makes us. Nobody's making them. There is no one that's part of a check and balance system at that level of the government. That is what is wrong with this country. Do you think it's going to get better under Kamala Harris? You really believe that? These people are carrying her water already. These people already hate Trump. They hate truth. They hate everything that we stand for as gun owners and as true patriotic Americans who love this country. That's who they're trying to screw over. Good patriots like Marcus Allen right here. This story pisses me off. If you want to dig into it, you're going to find a whole lot more that will make you mad, because this guy is getting screwed with simply because he opened his mouth and, get this, spoke truth. He didn't just disagree. He told them what was wrong and told the truth. And it pissed them off, and they tried to sandbag this guy and screw him over. If anyone out there knows how to get in touch with Marcus Allen, I've tried. The poor guy has gotten harassed on social media. In fact, during an initial hearing a couple of months ago, there was some pompous little B word, I'm not going to say the word because your kids might be in the room, congressman who sat here and told Marcus, did you forward a tweet by somebody who said January 6th, and I'm going to paraphrase here, January 6th was done by Pelosi. And she said the Twitter account, he goes, that's not my account.
Mr. Allen, have you ever used Twitter, yes or no?
I have utilized Twitter, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and is your account at Marcus A970-50645?
That is absolutely not my account.
Okay, that's not your account. Well, on December 5th, 2022, an account under the name Marcus Allen retweeted a tweet that said,
That
quote,
is not my account, ma'am.
you haven't let me finish the question, sir.
Might have been the football player.
You haven't let me finish the question. And the time is mine. On December 5th, 2022, an account under the name of Marcus Allen retweeted a tweet that said, quote, Nancy Pelosi staged January 6th, retweet if you agree, end quote. Do you agree with that statement? Yes or no?
That is, I don't, no, ma'am. That's not my account at all.
I'm asking whether you agree with that statement, yes or no?
Can you please rephrase the statement?
Yeah. Do you think
Time of the
that
gentlelady
Nancy
has
Pelosi
expired.
staged January 6th? I just want him to answer
He'll answer.
this
He'll
last
answer.
question.
Yeah, he'll answer. I'm just telling you your time's up.
Do you believe that Nancy Pelosi, do you agree with the statement that this person tweeted that Nancy Pelosi staged January 6th? Yes or no?
No.
The people who are in control, once they realize they can get away with all of this, they're not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. And people, good, honest people who cannot afford to go 27 months without pay like Marcus Allen did, they're going to shut up. They're not going to exercise their First Amendment rights. You better hope they don't start exercising their Second Amendment rights when you start screwing these people over. But some of these people will just tuck their shoulders and walk away because they don't have the fortitude, mentally or financially, to fight the federal government. The federal government fought Marcus Allen with his own money, his own taxpayer money that they took from him. And they have a bottomless pit of it. We've seen it in Ukraine, right? Bottomless pit of money that they will let this go as long as they can. In fact, Marcus made some very good points in what he was saying. The federal government, and this is every agency, he's speaking out about the FBI, but every single one of them falls in lockstep with this same type of issue. They have all the time in the world. The federal government will drag everything out as long as they need to because they know they can outlast you, and they certainly know that they can outspend you. Marcus made a few comments that every time somebody from the FBI, when he came out and blew the whistle, FBI immediately wanted to talk to him. Immediately. Let's do an interview. He immediately agreed to their interview. Right away. Let's do it. And within days, he had agreed to sit down with his counsel and have an interview with the FBI. When he requested something of the FBI, they slow walk it. They drag it out. I'm not talking weeks. I'm talking months at a time. They drag it out. Yet when they go back to him finally and say, hey, we could use this bit of information, boom, within days they get it. Then they take months to rule on it. Months. I don't know how the Inspector General has already ruled on this, because this poor guy, he's lucky he got a ruling this fast. Will he ever see his money? I don't know. Will our congressman, whose job it is to enforce any kind of anything against these people, do anything about it? Because if you don't understand how this works, all these bureaucracies, every one of them, report up through the president. DOJ, Department of Justice, reports up through the president. So the Department of Justice has been weaponized. We've seen it. I mean, that's not something new. We all know that. But who's calling the shots? I've said this before. We know Joe Biden's not calling the shots. Between him and Kamala, there ain't a lick of brain cells between the two of them. They are not that they're doing a good job anyway. They suck. But somebody else is calling the shots. You know why it's easy for a shadow person who's not in the spotlight to do what they're doing by weaponizing the Department of Justice? It's because there's nobody to call in. There's nobody to talk to. If Joe Biden had his wits about him and he were truly running the country, and Joe Biden weaponized the DOJ like it's weaponized right now, then you subpoena Joe Biden. Not that he would come in, but you subpoena Joe Biden, you have a hearing, you do a number of things that's focused on Joe Biden. You know why they haven't done that? Because they know Joe's not running the country. The problem is nobody is officially the leader of the country right now. I'm talking about either Susan Rice, either Valerie Jarrett, either Barack Obama. Whoever is truly calling the shots behind the scene, and it's one of those, or a combination of them, they get to duck and dodge any kind of responsibility because they're not officially on record as being the ones calling these shots. So they can indirectly call all of these shots, be corrupt, and nobody has to account for it. Because whose job is it? It's not mine. Joe's the president. And they look over at Joe and he's filling his diaper up, drooling, wishing he was dead. That's the problem with this administration. And my fear is not only will Kamala Harris make it worse because she is somewhat conscious about what's going on, but she's only in there because those same people that I just mentioned allowed her to be in there. They forced Joe Biden out and had a talk with her. You're going to do things our way and we'll let you run for president. That's how this has worked behind the scenes the entire time. You can't tell me anything different. So there's going to be an agreement that these same people are going to be able to continue to do the things they're doing by weaponizing these three-letter agencies. So we are in for a longer 4 years, longer than what we have seen if this crazy hoe is allowed to get put in office. We've got to think long and hard about this. And people like Marcus Allen, we have got to learn to respect and take care of those people. Speaking of that, I have tried everything. Again, they've scrubbed. He's taken his social media down. There's no way for me to contact this guy or find him. If anybody knows how I can get in touch with Marcus Allen, I would like to try to help him and his family. They have been screwed over. I will do whatever I can. If it's a GoFundMe, it's a constant campaign to try to get money for his family, to take care of his family. If he's pulling from his pension, 401k or whatever to feed his family for 27 months, he likely doesn't have the additional money for a home, to possibly relocate, to get out of the crosshairs of the FBI, and to send his kids to school later on in life. I would like to help this man because he has done way more by himself and taken the heat by himself than probably 90-something% of the people who are employed by that same agency with the FBI. God bless this man, and if anybody has any way for me to get in touch with him, please reach out to me at paul@legallyarmedamerica.com, and let's help this fine patriot of ours.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's so horrible.